Salvatore Guttuso. Welcome back to the Beyond the Split, where we go beyond the commission split and into the stories that shape leaders, investors, faith builders, and legacy creators. Today, we've got a Tucson original, born in 1959. Is this correct?
No.
No.
1969.
1969. Canyon Del Oro High School alum, longtime Tucson resident, associate pastor at the Oro Valley Church as a Nazarene. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yes. Real estate investor, husband, father, and proud member of a big, humongous Sicilian family, which means strong opinions, strong faith, and probably even stronger Sunday dinners. Sal, welcome to Beyond the Split, my friend.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I know how busy you are, and we are very appreciative of you taking a little time and coming visiting with us. Normally we interview like more mainstream real estate agents and brokers and mortgage people and that kind of thing. Today, you're our first investor. Mm-hmm. So we appreciate you taking some time and sharing your knowledge with us. So you were born in 1969.
Correct.
Excuse me, I didn't want to add extra wrinkles. You still got some size to you left. So paint the picture for us. What was Tucson like growing up there back then?
So we first came to Tucson about 1983, 84.
Uh-huh.
And prior to that, I had visited our family in 80, 81. So my first experience coming from Queens, New York to Tucson in the 80s was, this is a Hickville town. There's no sidewalks, all this dirt, everything had needles, even the grass hurt when you walked on it. So it was a stark contrast for me. It was really hard to get acclimated and get comfortable with it.
From Queens. I notice you still don't carry that New York accent. Does that still roll into your vernacular every now and then, even after all these years?
It does, especially when I'm tired.
Yeah.
I don't hide it, but there was a long period of being ribbed to death about the way I spoke.
Yeah.
That I tried to change a lot of that.
Yeah. You fit in.
Yeah. So, because people would say, I want to ask you a question. And they're like,
yeah.
Ask, just.
And how about that New Yorker attitude? I mean, I don't want to say that there's such a thing, but do you still have it?
No. So definitely. So for attitude is contextual.
Yeah.
Okay. So we grew up in a Sicilian, New York family.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it was machismo.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It was bravado.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it was very oppressive to women.
Oh.
Right? So there was this false narrative that the male members of my family grew up with and what they thought it was to be a man.
Yeah.
What real man is. And, as I came to faith, you come to realize that a lot of that was secular nonsense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, there it is. Now, did you go to high school in Canyon Del Oro?
I did. I did a large chunk of schooling at Canyon Del Oro.
What kind of kid were you at Canyon Del Oro?
Initially an outcast.
Yeah.
I looked very different, talked very different.
Yeah.
Didn't understand the classism. There was a lot of classism at Canyon Del Oro. Yeah.
A lot of niches?
Absolutely.
Clickers?
My first memory of Canyon Del Oro, because I was a musician, I'm going into the music building, and I see a kid like in a weird posture with his head on the floor, and he's kind of moving really slow. And I thought someone had stolen his crutches or his wheelchair or something, and I was getting really upset. Meanwhile, it was upperclassmen who were making this freshman push a penny on the floor. I didn't know about stuff like that. I mean, there's just weird different things for me at that time.
Yeah.
But my reaction won favor with the upperclassmen, and I never had to endure anything like that here.
Yes.
That's good. And then being part of a large Sicilian family, how does that change, growing up, your personality, and then now, like, your work ethic?
So I will tell you this, our family came from very impoverished conditions in Sicily. They didn't have indoor plumbing. They had a really rough life, especially after my father's father was murdered. He was murdered when my dad was 6 months old. So my grandmother was in a real bad spot raising 4 children. As a matter of fact, at one point, my aunt was given up to a commissary as a baby, but the Guttuso family in Sicily found out and brought her back.
Wow.
I mean, that's how rough it was.
Yeah.
So they had a work ethic when they came to this country. They strove to be successful, and to them being successful was the American dream. And I will say that all 3 brothers and the aunt succeeded in achieving what the iconic American dream is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They all put together some runs. Your dad, yeah. His brother, absolutely.
So that work ethic was always in us.
Yeah,
That's good.
It was pushed on the men. The women had a different role, and they were treated differently. And when I reflect back on that, not right. You know, it wasn't. I mean, it's just what we knew. Is how we grew up. So his wife's dad, my uncle, was giving me money to go out with women when I was younger than his daughters, who weren't allowed to go out on dates, and doing this big show, this big production at his kitchen table. You know, it's like,
yeah,
those kind of things.
yeah. You know, but to that end, the grandmother, she was hard. I mean, she kept the whole program together, because that's got to be a rough go to lose your husband in a violent manner during a world war, and try to figure out how to feed 3 fellas, and that's some serious. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know a lot. You know,
Yeah.
My dad, I don't know how it was with Uncle Pete. You know, outside of the context of everyone being together and the limited times I had with him one-on-one, my dad doesn't share a lot. I mean, after coming back from Vietnam, they've all told me he was a different person. He wasn't the brother or the young man that they knew before going to war.
Yeah. I'm sure it left an impression on him.
Yeah.
So what would you say that the one lesson from your grandmother? What is the one lesson that you learned from her that still guides you today? Did you get that lesson from her? Did she interact with you at all?
She did, and for me to be bluntly honest,
Yeah, please.
I didn't get any lessons from her.
She was just too hard.
I witnessed a lot of turmoil for my mom because of her.
Yeah.
My mom got beat up, got verbally abused because of what was playing out
With the mom.
With the mom.
Oof, I'm sorry.
I mean, we were, as little kids, we were excited to get chewing gum from her. Stale frozen chewing gum. So it would crackle up in pieces. I remember as a real little kid when we would visit her in New York, it would be me and my dad, and she would fry ice cream in the pan and put it between 2 pieces of toast and give it to me. I mean, those were cool stories.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, there was that, but when I got old enough to realize what was going on and how it actually affected the brothers too.
Yeah.
They would fight because of her, and they would fight with their wives because of her.
She was a hard mother-in-law.
It was rough. I think towards the end, when she spent a good amount of time back in New York and then went with Uncle Jack. I mean, there was a different stage of her life. It was a lot more mellow.
Yeah.
We could appreciate her a little more in that situation.
Well, good. Yeah. That's just such a hard sort of, the whole entire thing, like you were saying, with the way the women's roles are perceived in Sicilian families at that time, and then the mother-in-law definitely holding sway over all the daughter-in-laws. Yeah. Hey, and look at you now. You look good. You made it through. Now, you lived in Tucson a long time. What's keeping you rooted here instead of going somewhere else?
Truth be told, I hated living here.
Is that right?
For 20-something years of living here. I always went back to New York, and I spent a serious amount of time when I went back. and there was this tug there for me, this pull. And then it came time for me to really start a business. Do I want to start in New York or start in Tucson?
Yeah.
And I decided Tucson, even though I didn't really care for it. And when I look back at it, it was all intentional planning by the Lord.
Yep.
Even things that I couldn't see then that I can see now, because my purpose is here, where he wanted me, what he required me to do, what he
Yeah.
called for me in my life after I made the change. Because if I wasn't here, I couldn't be taking care of my dad like I do now.
Right.
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 I wouldn't have met the love of my life and have my first true healthy relationship with a woman. I wouldn't have had my daughter. You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Things that
contextual
came
there.
good.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I know that I know some of your past history because our families are related, and so I spent time with you when you were younger, so I know what you may be bringing up and how things have changed in lives
You
for
can
everybody.
Bring whatever you want on the table. You want to
But
share some stories?
I want to just kind of touch on it, not to belabor the point, but I think it's important to kind of just acknowledge that when did faith become a central part of your life? Was it gradual, or was there a defining moment where you just like kicked into a different gear and you're like, oh,
It was a defining moment, but it was a gradual. It started as a gradual downfall of decay, and a lifetime of poor choices, where then it starts to pick up steam, and I blame myself. I made the choices, you know, that I found, the situations I found myself in, the debt, the bad marriages, the poor financial choices, and eventually it led me to sitting on my bed with a gun in my lap
ooh,
and ready to end my life.
well, I didn't know, Sal. That's
And-
rug. Whew.
Yeah.
Oh man,
So,
but you've
well, it was
the bottom.
I thought that was the bottom.
Yeah,
I couldn't do it because I didn't want to leave my daughter in the mess.
yeah,
So I figured it couldn't get any rougher than that, tougher than that. And a month later, that's when Joey passed with his
Yeah.
wife and unborn
Yeah.
child.
yeah,
And that was it.
yeah,
It was done. I was fried.
yeah.
I tell people it was like my body was ripped up into a million pieces and then thrown up in the air. And one night after families all in from out of town and we're at mom's, drove home, and I had a definitive moment in my room where the Lord spoke to me. He showed me a vision. I surrendered, and it started this journey, this unbelievable transformational journey
Yes.
that changed everything for me. And it wasn't an overnight. The acceptance and the peace that he gave me, that was overnight. But then there's the walk.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't stop sleeping around with women right away. I didn't stop drinking hard and partying. I didn't stop smoking cigars and such, and doing nefarious business practices.
yeah.
That, it took time
To work your way through it.
Yeah.
And now that time has evolved and evolved and evolved, and now you find yourself as an associate pastor, and really walking the walk. That's pretty fabulous. You were telling us today that you are taking your what did you call the interview that you had today?
So it was the district license board of review interview.
Uh-huh.
So once you're district licensed, every year you go up in front of the board for review until you finish all the educational requirements or complete ordination.
Uh-huh.
So I had to face the part of the board today, and they, ask you a bunch of different questions, give you a couple of scenarios to play out.
Uh-huh.
And so that's what I did, and they were very pleased and happy with me, and I was very thankful for that. I even asked them about the final one, the big one when they say, yes, you'll be ordained. I was a little concerned about that, and
Yeah.
they assured me I will do fine. I was like, thank you.
Even though you're from New York.
That's right. Even though I'm from New York, even though I'm got Sicilian heritage, And I've become known as the guy who knows a guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, you are the guy that knows a guy.
Yeah. So what does the leadership look like inside of a church community, and how do you, get yourself involved in that?
So it's different from church to church, based on the size of the congregation and such. So for me personally, I was coming from one church and started to going to the Oro Valley Church in Nazarene, and realized that definitively that was where I needed to be. So after Ellen and I decided that this was going to be home, I arranged to have a meeting with the head pastor. And we had a sit down lunch. I told him my story, and then I said, "Look, I'm here to go to work for the Lord. So put me to work. I'm not here to take. I'm here to give." And so shortly after that, they offered me the men's ministry leadership position, and that's how it started, by just volunteering, and then volunteering as a leader, and then leading a ministry. And what happens is, it's not about a punch list, a checklist. You're prompted by the Holy Spirit, the gift that you receive after you accept Jesus, and you follow that prompting. Because if you were just to check everything off the list but no conviction of your heart, there's nothing there. So this was a process that the Lord was putting me through. That church at the time was about 1,200 strong 7-8 years ago. Now we're over 4,000 a week.
I thought 1,200 was big.
So, and we have 17 pastors on staff.
Wow.
We are a huge community outreach.
Yeah.
And so that's why I say it depends. Leadership depends on the size and the scope of what you're doing. But volunteers can hold a numerous roles. There's so many different positions, not necessarily always having to be leadership. For me, I felt that God was calling me to be a pastor, and my wife, who's a preacher's kid, said we have to wait for God's second affirmation. And we got that affirmation, and it was no doubt. So I reached out to leadership and said, God's calling me to be a pastor. And they welcomed me in open arms, and we started this process. I'm 5 years into the process now.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
It's
That's
been
really
a
cool.
road. How do you balance your pastoral leadership with the practical side of, doing business and real estate investing and handling all those sorts of responsibilities?
So truthfully, I've been very fortunate and blessed. The Lord has brought a lot of great people to surround me with, to do a lot of the things that I did before becoming a pastor. You are one of those wonderful, beautiful people as well, obviously.
Greatly appreciative, by the way.
But he brought just workers. I have a person who vets prospective tenants and does all the background checking. I mean, I have all these people in place. So basically all I have to do is manage from a high perspective. Even when I have to go into the real estate locations and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to redo. If the guys are questioning how to do something, I will show them and teach them. They're so capable of doing the tasks that after instruction they follow and can do a really great job. So the Lord just put all these people in place that lifted so much off my plate that I can put the time in as a pastor, and I can put the time in managing my portfolio, my father's portfolio, and my mother's portfolio.
Oh, that's fabulous. That's fabulous. And what do you suppose is something that people misunderstand about people that are faith leaders?
There's a couple of things.
Yeah.
One thing is, if you're not a believer in Jesus Christ, you're not going to understand a lot of things about the way life is lived. You get a lot of times you're a hypocrite, or why does God allow bad things to happen kind of things. And the truth is walking with Jesus, accepting him as Lord and Savior, doesn't mean your life is perfect. You still stumble. You still mess up, you still sin, but there's something different. You have the saving grace and the forgiving grace of Jesus Christ in your life, as opposed to not,
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm going to screw up, and I'm going to feel bad about it because I have conviction of the heart.
Right.
The people who don't have conviction of the heart, they don't feel bad about
Yeah.
screwing up, or it's like a person who gets caught for doing something and they're going to go to jail. They feel bad about getting caught and going to jail. They don't feel bad about the act they committed.
Right.
You know,
Right.
that's the difference in salvation.
Right.
Hmm.
That's awesome. Now, how did you first get into real estate investing?
So I grew up essentially in it. My
Uh-huh.
father has always been a real estate investor.
Mhm.
Originally, it started with buying condemned or burnt out buildings in New York and then fixing them up, renting them, sometimes selling them. And then what happened when my dad moved to Tucson, he had every intention of retiring,
Hmm.
but he realized he needed a lot more money than he thought. So he started to do hard money loans.
Uh-huh.
He started to do deeds of trust. And then when the people didn't pay and he had to assume the property, ownership of the property and the first mortgage, it never went into third position unless it was a sweet, sweet deal. It's always second or first position.
Right.
That hedged his position. So then he would fix these places up, sell them or keep them as rentals. And that's how he started to build his real estate portfolio here. So that's what I learned. I didn't learn about the stock market and 401ks. I was always taught that tangible assets and investments, realized gains from that would be for your future is real estate. Real estate fluctuated with the times, the economic times.
Mhm.
When they're good or when they're bad, real estate always had a correction in it. So
Yeah.
you can always adjust accordingly if
Right.
you were set right.
Correct. Oh yeah, and he balanced renting between selling times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now I know that you did you're now that you're working on being an ordained pastor. What kind of principles guide the way you invest now from that perspective, or do you separate those two things and you're just
No, everything's guided by the Lord.
yeah.
So when you accept Jesus, you accept to live the life he wants you to live.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things you have to recognize is that we're born with a sinful nature,
Mhm.
and then we willfully disobey God's law by committing personal sins.
Yeah.
So God says, hey, there's a better way, and this is how I want you to live, and you have to live this way within everything. So when my brother died, my dad kind of fell apart,
Yeah.
and he let his holdings fall apart, and he let some bad people really come into the picture.
Yeah.
So being a believer in Christ, the first thing I had to do was basically weed out all the rats, weed out all the bad people. So that was step one. We're no longer doing business with bad people,
Yeah.
and we were going to eliminate a chunk of the practices that got him into trouble
Yeah.
he was in the first place.
Yeah.
So that was step one.
Yeah.
And you got to be honest.
Right.
You have to be straightforward.
Right.
There's no more wheeling and dealing and conniving. There's no more manipulating of the situations. There's no cutting corners in a way that will be detrimental to the people buying
Yeah.
the property you're going to sell.
Yeah.
You have to do things right.
Yeah. That's strong. Your first deal, when you did your first own deal, was it smooth or was it a learning opportunity?
My first solo deal was very smooth. I bought a house off of Glen, and I got the house for next to nothing. I think at the time we're in the mid 90s. I got the house for maybe 18,000,
Uh-huh.
and I fixed it up myself, and then sold it and made like $25,000 on the deal. I was so stoked, like 25 grand after everything in my pocket. And what do? I go to Tony G and I buy myself a Honda Accord.
You did the right thing.
My dad was pissed. He's like, you should have reinvested the money. In
Oh,
hindsight,
man.
yes, should have.
Yeah.
But
I got in trouble with your dad more than once. There it is. Now, if someone in Tucson was to start investing now, what would be your practical advice to them regarding that subject?
first thing I would do is, you have to be realistic about the situation you're about to endeavor in.
Yeah.
And you also have to, no matter how you paint the picture, there's always what if scenarios.
Yeah.
And what if financial scenarios outside of the deal you're about to do,
Yeah.
and maybe even things with the deal,
Yeah.
can cripple you,
Oh, yeah.
and in a bad way.
Yeah.
So you have to be sure. You have to have your bases covered. And you can't just, oh, it's going to work out. Oh, it's going to be fine. No, it doesn't always work out. And if you're not setting yourself up to succeed,
Yeah.
if you're not putting yourself in a situation where you can absorb some of those what ifs,
Yeah.
you're going to be in a bad spot.
So you are a high believer in that you should do your deal, but don't go bankrupt on a duplex. Is that the deal?
That's correct. So here's, if you're going to buy a place,
Yeah.
and you're going to keep it for rental,
Yeah.
and you want to make a positive cash flow,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things you have to consider. You have to consider your taxes. You have to consider your insurance. You have to consider the maintenance and upkeep and the unexpected repairs.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, if your car breaks down or something you need to do at your house, or your wife's car breaks down, or any number of things, a hospital bill, all of that factors in, and it sucks up your liquid cash.
Yeah.
And so then what do you have to do? You're going to go into your credit cards. You're going to go into a loan, and plus you're paying a mortgage. I mean, all that adds up.
Yeah.
So the numbers have to make sense.
Right.
And I know I drove you crazy with the last one on
Not at all.
17th.
Never. No.
But because of the diligence, the property on 17th is a positive cash flow investment.
Sure.
We're making decent money,
Yeah.
even with the additional expenses I put in to rehab the place,
Uh-huh.
and the repairs that have come up since we've taken over.
Yeah.
So, but if you invest wisely and you're conservative, you'll be okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for that. And we're going to do our lightning round, but I think Luke had one more question for you.
Yeah. So how do you handle tough negotiations while maintaining the integrity?
Okay, so again, you got good people around you. So Tony represents my family's portfolio, all of our portfolio, whatever we're going to do, buy or sell. And I trust Tony emphatically, so we can have a frank conversation. Okay, not an aggressive or abrasive conversation, just a frank and honest conversation. And I trust what's coming from him. So in those discussions are where the decisions are made. Now, if it involves my dad, he has dementia now, so I have the authority to call those shots. With my mom, or when it involves my wife, I have to go talk to her after I've talked to Tony, and then we go forward. You're firm, you're honest, and you're respectful. There's no need for foul language. There's no need for raising your voice. This is how it is. This is what I need. I can't go below that, or I'm not going to do this. It's no hard feelings, and I don't take it personal at all. Now, some deals work, some deals don't. And that's just the price of doing business.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. It's very kind of you to share that with us. So Luke and I like to do what we call the lightning round. We had a little experience with that earlier, where we were figuring out what tough questions were or not. But so I'm just gonna ask you, and you fire away. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Pasta or seafood?
Pasta.
Oh, that was too easy. All right. Desert sunrise or sunset?
Desert sunset.
Sunsets. Do you stop and look at it occasionally, take a moment at
Absolutely.
night?
Snap pictures, everything.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Now, cash flow or appreciation?
Oh, that's a tough one. I can't choose either because of where I'm at in my life. So appreciation is important with the proper balance of cash.
That's a great answer.
There it is. Favorite Tucson restaurant?
Favorite Tucson restaurant? Right now, it's The Keg.
What's it called?
The Keg.
Ooh.
The Keg.
Yeah.
Oh, where's that at?
The Keg is by Tangerine, and the Tangerine Shopping Plaza is a
Canadian.
Canadian. Right? Oh, I don't know if it's Canadian.
I think it's a Canadian restaurant.
But it's a beautiful steakhouse, great seafood, wonderful atmosphere.
Yeah.
And it's a nice, like, it's so rare to find a place where you can dress nice and go to, and that's one of those places.
Oh, we're going. I'm gonna have
Yes.
to take Michelle. One word that describes your particular leadership style.
Servitude.
Servitude. Very nice.
Now, most underrated quality in a successful investor?
Most underrated quality. That's a tough one. I think being a believer now is being honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely being honest.
Being honest.
Yes.
If you weren't a pastor or an investor, what do you think you would be right now?
I would be in a real bad place. I would be in a real bad situation, and I might not even be here to speak to you today,
Boy,
given the way my life was leading.
I was kind of hoping you would say you would like be a baseball scout.
No, I mean, would I have loved to do that? Yes, but unfortunately, the choices and the lifestyle I lived leading up to this change
Yeah.
would not have panned out that way.
I think we have kind of a general gist of where you're at, but what does it mean to you today?
So success translates to me as legacy.
Uh-huh.
So what's the true important legacy?
Uh-huh.
Money and cars and houses, those are good things. They're not bad. But for me, true legacy is imparting my faith and establishing how to give my daughter a relationship with God that will play forward into her marriage and her children and her children's children and so on and so forth. That to me is success. That to me is true legacy. Family first, teaching them about how to live and walk with the Lord.
Oh, that's fabulous.
That's
We really
great.
appreciate that. That's super good. Hey, Sal, if you could sit across from your 25-year-old self, what would you tell him now about faith, family, and finances?
I would tell him to listen and to slow down and stop trying to be the rebel you thought you were. Unfortunately, what the Lord knew and I didn't at that time was I had to exhaust every of this earth avenue, trick, talent, strength, and exhaust them all and realize they're all futile without the saving grace of Christ.
Amen. Amen. Sal, we want to thank you for bringing some wisdom and some perspective and some Sicilian fire to Beyond the Split. This is exactly why we do this, because leadership isn't just about deals. It's about legacy. It's about stewardship. It's about faith in action. And to everyone listening, please share this episode with somebody who needs to hear it. And until next time, keep building, keep believing, and we'll see you soon at Beyond the Split.
Well,
Thank you again, Sal.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.